Hi, I'm Brian Kaczynski with Super Shox. This is a new series that we're going to do about rides. So it's called Super Shox Rides, and we're going to talk about the bikes we ride, the places we go, the people we know, and other products and things you can put on your bike that can make your bike better for you. You know, we love our Harleys, and they're fabulous bikes to ride. They're awesome, but there's always a way to improve it and make it a little bit better, sometimes a lot better. So with the aftermarket that Harley has, or in the Harley world, there's a huge aftermarket. So we can do anything we want to these bikes to make them ours and the way we want them to be. It's a huge advantage to having a Harley over any other brand because you don't have the aftermarket with the other brands. But with Harley, we got these aftermarket brands that just enhance the rideability, the comfort, the sound, the performance, everything about it. Whatever you want it to be, the look, the feel, it's all out there for you. So this is just some way that we can showcase some of the things that we like, what we do, and the people that we deal with and what they do. So maybe you find it interesting. If you do, put a like on it. Today we're with Brian Conley Jr. here at Valley Racing in Beecher, Illinois. They've done some engine upgrades for our Road Glide, our 21 Road Glide. So I'm going to introduce Brian and let him tell us about who he is, what they do, and why they're here. He's a very accomplished drag racer and engine builder, so he's got a lot of good stuff to share. Hi, Brian. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you. Thank you. So my name is Brian. My family owns Valley Racing here in Beecher, Illinois. My dad and my grandpa started it when my dad graduated high school, and this is actually our 40th year in business. We moved out here in 2000, and we started to convert over to mostly Harley work. Before that, it was all jet bikes. And now we are 100% Harley Davidson, 99 and up.
So with your racing background, tell us a little bit about that, what you're doing now and what you did in the past, and how we met. Actually, we met through the racing portion of the business.
Yeah.
And built him some shocks for his drag bikes.
Yeah, so I started drag racing when I was about 15, 16, running with the American Motorcycle Racing Association. They're a all V-twin organization. I started out on an Indian Scout and then moved up to a 2004 Dyna Super Glide. We ran in Hot Street, and actually for both bikes, Brian set up our shocks, and it helped tremendously. We went through a few set of shocks trying to get the setup right, and once we did, we had a nice hot rod.
Yeah, and you even won a few races, right? Maybe a championship or two?
Yeah, won a few races, 4-time national champion, and last year we won every single event. Since then, I have parked the bike, and I'm working with a lot of my friends now on working my way up to a Nitro Funny Bike and Top Fuel Harley. So I'm wanting to go up to the bigger classes. I got some great people, you know, Brian Perry, Jay Turner, Chris Smith, and the whole crew. Just very thankful for them and Brian's support with all my racing.
Yeah, that's awesome. We can't wait to see you on that Top Fuel bike. Those things are certainly badass. Let's talk about the what you do for like all these Harley builds. You know, with Valley Racing here, you do all kind of service and support, from tire changes and oil changes to full motor builds. But you got a pretty good reputation in the Harley world for doing a lot of motor builds. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so we do, like you said, services, oil changes, tires, you know, mild engine work to maximum performance engine work, and transmission and drivetrain upgrades. We don't really do anything with, you know, paint radios or anything like that. Mostly just more performance. You know, it can be from a mild cam job, you know, to let's pull the engine out, let's rebuild everything, and work with all the companies that we work with, and you know, really just give the customer what they're looking for to fit their riding style.
Yeah, how much dyno time would you say Dad has over there working on the dyno and on a weekly basis? How many days does he spend running bikes?
Every day he's here at 8 o'clock, and he's in that room till about 5 o'clock. He comes out for lunch and the occasional phone call, and that's about it. He has more miles on the dyno than anyone has on any motorcycle going anywhere.
Yeah, so to say that they're not experts at tuning would be an understatement. So let's talk about what you did here with the Super Shox Road Glide, and we'll turn around and look at it here, and you can talk and explain a little bit about that build.
Yeah, so we did a just basically a cam job is what we would technically call it. We didn't take the heads off or anything, just pretty much everything we can bolt on a stock bike and get some good performance out of it. So we started with the T-Man T 117 cam. It's a 485 lift cam. It sounds awesome. It makes great power. We've been using that a lot as our bolt-in cam, and it's really well. On top of that, we did an HPI 62 millimeter throttle body and intake. And then Fuel Moto supplied us with some 6.3 injectors, and then their Riot 2-in-1 pipe. Brian was looking for that stainless kind of shorter length 2-in-1, and this one makes great power. And you know, everything we put on this bike is something we've been very happy with, and we know it works, and great products with great companies.
Yeah, so proven performance with a lot of the top brands in the business that can offer you big enhancements for the way your bike rides and feels. And I just took this down the road and back, and I'm going to tell you, this thing accelerates 100% better than it did before in stock form. It was all right in stock form, kind of lazy, didn't really scare you at all. It doesn't scare you now either, but the thing just pulls and pulls and pulls, and you can just rip through the gears, and it sounds million times better. It's got a great sound to it. Maybe I want to fire that up there, Brian, and let's show the people what it sounds like. So that'll give you an idea of what the sound is, and it's so much nicer. Sounds like a real Harley now, not just like some muffled down old Harley. So
Sewing machine.
Yeah, sewing machine. Much nicer. Very happy with the way it sounds and rides. I can't wait to log some miles on this thing this weekend. I'm not going to be able to get off it probably. So thanks a lot, Brian, for all you've done here to help us set up this road glide. We really appreciate it. And probably be back for stage 2 now, right? Come later. What's the next upgrade that you think we should do?
Yeah, we're gonna have to pull them cylinders off, put something a little bigger on, maybe some head work. You know, we might even get real wild and throw a dark horse crank in there.
Yeah. Now when you say a dark horse crank, I know they're very popular, very good company, very good products. But what's that going to do for the motor?
That would be a welded bottom end, fully serviced and blueprinted lower end to handle pretty much all the power, all the abuse. Harley's cranks are not welded. They are a pressed together setup. You know, a lot of things that's popular is when we do a cam job, we have to check the crank run out to see if that pinion shaft is within spec. If it's not, we send it up to Dark Horse, or if we're just planning on building a hot rod, we immediately send it to Dark Horse and, you know, have them do their work on the lower end.
Yeah, so now with this build here, we've increased performance substantially, because what'd you say we were at horsepower and torque numbers wise?
We were 120 horse and 130 foot-pounds of torque.
All right, so now with that, what other benefits do we get? Is it fuel mileage, reliability? Can I ride this bike across the country now?
Yeah, I would have no problem with riding that thing to California right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, great fuel mileage, good reliability, better quality parts than what you're getting from the factory. And, you know, more miles per gallon.
Yeah, right. So we've got better parts, better performance, better longevity. Everything is overall improved, and that's what you get with the aftermarket, because the factory can only do so much. They're very limited at how much they can do and how much they can build these bikes, and how much money they can spend on parts and stuff like that. So they leave a lot on the table for the aftermarket to fill in the gaps. So aftermarket companies have find ways to make things better, maybe better materials, different processes, different coatings and stuff like that enhance not only the performance and the longevity, but also the rideability and appearance of the bike. So that's where you get with Harley, is you get a great aftermarket support and a good warranty on all these things. So yeah, it's a way to make your bike a lot better and a lot more fun to ride. And with guys like this that are doing this stuff all day, day in and day out, hundreds of bikes a year, maybe even hundreds of bikes a month. But this place is jam-packed always with bikes, so they know what they're doing. They're going to get a good job out of it. So anything else you want to add to that, Brian?
No, I think we covered it. Thank you for letting us do this with your bike and having fun, and we need to go ride.
Yeah, let's let it rip. Thanks for joining. Okay, a little catch-up review on the Valley Racing motor upgrades on the Super Shox Road Glide. Earlier this spring, we had Valley Racing do, I guess you'd call it a stage 1 upgrade like you just saw in the previous video here. And now I've been riding it all summer long, so I got a really good feel for the way this bike rides and what the power feels like and what I like about it. So I've never been disappointed with the acceleration. The bike really moves a lot better from a start, and also when you're rolling up the speed and you want to pass a car or just pick up the pace a bit, this thing gets right after it. You just throttle it up and it goes. It pulls well in all gears. It's really a nice, makes this bike a lot more fun to ride, that's for sure. The stock form, it was okay, you know, it was not as, it was way better than all the other Harleys I've owned, but still, this thing, with the motor upgrades, the sound from Jackpot Pipe and the way the cams make this motor sound really sound good when you're throttling it up and getting down the road and carving up some twisties. It makes it a lot more fun, that's for sure. And you know what, don't be afraid of these short pipes and thinking that they're going to be too loud. It's not too loud for me at all. It's not the quietest pipe, that's for sure. You definitely can hear it, but I want to hear it. And it hasn't affected the, still hear the radio the same as I could with the stock exhaust. Well, it's louder than stock exhaust, but the stock exhaust was way out the back, and I still had to have the radio turned up almost as loud as it'd go anyway to hear it, and it's the same way it is now. So it really ain't that much different other than you hear some exhaust in the background. So it's not a problem for me. I really like riding it. Valley Racing did a great job. I really appreciate the work they did, and I'm looking forward to maybe a little bump over the winter here. We'll see how the schedule works out, if we got time to get it down there and have them do it. But the power on this upgrade with the cam and the intake and the throttle body and the pipe, really nice upgrades. But it's nothing that ever gives me, it never scares me. I can always throttle it. It's very rideable. Anybody could ride this bike and enjoy it. It's definitely a worthwhile upgrade. So thinking about a motor upgrade for your Harley, don't be afraid, go for it.